Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Beyond Dimensional. We are your hosts. I'm Liz.
I'm Lori.
And this is not a regularly scheduled episode. This is actually a special midweek episode to commemorate Halloween.
Halloween. Love it.
Indeed. We're so excited for the spooky season, even though it is like half over. And now Halloween coming to a close, it makes it feel like it's already come and gone. But we wanted to make sure that we paid attention to it. Halloween is so important for us witches. Oh my gosh, I referred to myself as a witch. Just saying. I'm getting there. I'm getting there, guys. But we wanted to really dig a little bit of deeper on the history of Halloween and understand the differences from where it actually came from to where it is today as this like super capitalistic, money-making big business. So Lori and I did a little bit of research on Halloween, and we started to come across the origin story as actually from the UK, which I was pretty surprised about. It comes from the Celtic stories and folklore, and not really, not folklore, I guess, but their belief system that the boundary between the living and spirit worlds was the thinnest on October 31st. And that originates from their ancient festival of Samhain, not spelled that way, and I hope I'm pronouncing it right. And that marked the end of the harvest and the beginning of the darker half of the year. So, of course, you're in the UK, you're in Ireland, Scotland, and, back 2,000 years ago, no global warming. So it was like super dark, super dingy, super gray, very wet. So end of October meant, hey, it's pretty much getting dark super early and winter is coming. So for the Celts, the period around Samhain represented a time of transition. So not only between seasons, but also between worlds, which is super, super fun. And the transitional period was believed to weaken the barrier between the human and spirit realms, allowing spirits to cross over more easily. I love this. I think this is way
good.
more fun.
It's so good. I love the whole concept, and it makes way more sense to
Totally.
me than let's dress up like Batman or, some movie character, horror, whatever it is. But look, Halloween for kids, they have a good time, they dress up, and adults get a free pass to do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
By all means, have at it. But I love when there's actual real information on how it started and why it was a thing.
For sure.
When it makes sense, you're like, oh, I get it. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Putting reason to the weird shit that we do for seemingly no reason, but then saying,
Yes.
oh, this is where that comes from. And then being able to kind of do things more intentionally. Not to say that we're all going to go in with like candlesticks and like back in Celtic days and somehow, raise the dead. To go back to the Celts here, so they were deeply spiritual. Their beliefs included a wide range of spiritual beings, so not just humans, obviously, but supernatural entities like fairies, nature spirits, and gods. So we're talking pagans, Judeo-Christian religions, way before your time. So they believed that on this particular night, these beings might cross over. So they would do that to maybe play tricks on the living or influence the outcomes of the coming year, which is pretty crazy to think about. So this belief gave rise to customs that eventually evolved into what we know as like trick-or-treating or costume representation. So they would dress up actually as the dead or the demons or spirits to blend in and to like not be seen and to like live amongst them. Which kind of leads into our current world understandings of costumes, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And when you're dealing with gods and entities back 2,000 years ago, they would create altars essentially on like and bestow gifts of food and different trinkets and things to their ancestors and spirits that would come and visit them. Sometimes I feel like to protect themselves, maybe, but also just to honor them. So all of these like normal things we do actually come from a very real belief system back 2,000 years plus, where they felt like their ancestors were able to come visit them and come see them and pass on to the next circle.
Yeah, I love that. it was all about food and like probably real food. Now we're like, here's your super processed Mounds bar. It's for all the little kids. And yeah,
Yeah,
whatever.
that's super.
Capitalism, it's all about making money. Per usual. But yeah, I love the history.
Yeah. And then, as we were looking at it, it made total sense that over the thousands of years in the evolution of Halloween, the biggest change came when, of course, the Christians got involved and they were like, how can we use this to our advantage?
Color me shocked.
I know, right? They're like, okay, let's plan the Saints' Day to be the day after their big night of spirits and evil and dark and all that shit, right? After everything comes out from the realms, let's plan the All Saints Day so that we can try to convert them from pagans to believe that, Jesus is going to save us from the evil that just came out of the ground. It's pretty wild. Those fuckers.
Yet also typical, right? Like,
So typical.
it's like nothing surprises me anymore. Religion, capitalism,
Mhm.
it's like all got one common purpose.
Manipulation.
And money.
Yeah.
Even religion. I mean,
1000%.
we talked about it a little bit with Melissa, and we have some episodes in the new year that talk more about the history of religion and experiences with religion. But it's like still money. I mean, they want people to follow their faith, which includes giving their what is it, tithe or
Donation.
yeah, donation. Anyway, you know how I feel about this topic, but
No, but Halloween is so fun. Like
it is fun.
it's fun. And now knowing the history of it feels more real in a way where we can say,
Yeah,
okay, I know that,
totally.
yeah, I might be, fattening up all these little cherub babies with like
Yep.
high fructose corn syrup, but really let's think about this as like an honoring of the gods and the spirits to, come and give us good fortune for the coming year. It's cool.
I'll take it. I
Yeah.
like that idea. Okay, so Halloween as a kid, did you always dress up? Did you always go trick or treating? What was the deal in your house?
100%. Big
Yeah,
on Halloween. Loved. So I grew up in the hills of LA, so it wasn't great for trick or treating. So we would always go down to the flatlands where we could wander the houses.
yeah.
And I feel like as a kid, the decorating from the house perspective and like the trick or treating was way better in like the 90s and early
Oh yeah,
2000s than it has been recently. Like
totally.
I feel like people don't do it anymore. I mean, maybe that's COVID. Maybe the last few years I've been out of touch, but COVID for sure fucked everything up for everybody. So I feel bad for kids, but I think it's coming back. But for sure, we always went to like family friends had a Halloween party and then we would go house to house and it was the most fun of all time. I loved Halloween and we didn't really have themes. My mom was Gumby every year.
Oh, that's cute.
She was really cute, and she had a little pokey doll that she would walk around with. And then she's pretty good at the costumes. That's probably because my mom's a witch. She was a witch a few times, and she was like, okay, well, I have green makeup from Gumby. What else could I be? A witch, sure. She did full on the nose, like prosthetic nose, totally crazy. Then one year she dressed as an now I'm going to be PC and call them unhoused. She walked up to her friend's house and she had like this like fake teeth and scraggly hair, and she had a little shopping cart full with bags and stuff. She knocked on her friend's door, and she was like, "Some candy." Friend answered the door. She was like, "Oh my gosh, please don't hurt me." She was like, "Oh, I don't think I have anything for you." She's like, "Anna, it's Shelly," and she goes, "Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. It's you." It was like very dramatic. So
I love.
my mom's into it. And definitely, I mean, you go through the slut phase in college for sure. I was in school in New York, so it was like an excuse to wander around the city in heels and feel slutty and go bar hopping and that kind of shit. Yeah, you don't go trick or treating for candy, you go trick or treating for shots. And that was always fun.
Fair enough.
And then, yeah. And then, I mean, no other country besides America really does this. I'm actually really curious to know if they still do this in the UK a lot. I don't know.
I don't either. We'll ask the next person
Yeah.
that we interview from the UK because
Yeah. We'll
I'm
have to
sure
look
there's more. It seems like all the fun, cool, witchy people are in the UK.
Totally. Oh,
Oh,
totally. There's
okay.
like,
Percentage.
there must be a hellmouth out there somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
Spiritual vortex.
I think there is.
Yeah, I mean they are covered. They're like covered by water, so it's an island. So I mean, probably some sort of suction into the netherworld. Yeah, and then as an adult now, I don't have kids, but now we have friends with kids. So actually, this year we're all dressing up as Sesame Street characters.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, and so the baby we're going with is Cookie Monster. He's not even
Oh,
6 months old, and he's Cookie Monster, and the rest of us are other characters. So it'll just be fun. Now with other people's kids, I get to
I,
go around and take advantage and like be a part of the trick-or-treating again, but not my own kids. Thanks. Bye.
yeah, really. The closest I would have is to take my dogs, and yeah, no. Okay, so I was into Halloween as a kid, but I had some traumatic Halloween episodes I have to tell you about.
Okay.
Okay, number one, and if my mom listens to this, I need her to take ownership of this trauma. Okay. Every year, I
Karen,
swear,
listen up.
yeah, yeah. Every year, I swear for the first 7 years of my life, I was a green goblin. Every year. Green face paint, big head thing, antennas, I think, this plastic green costume. Every year, it was the
Oh,
same goblin costume. And I went to school in different places because we moved all the time. So that was the only saving grace is that the same people didn't see me. But I don't like shit on my face and I don't like being green. And I hated this costume because everyone stared at me and made fun of me and asked me what I was. Now, you know me as an adult. I don't like that kind of attention.
no.
And I didn't like Halloween going door to door and knocking on things. No, I don't like that. Now I'd go with brave people and they could do that and I'd be in the back with my bag like, yeah, me too. But no, I don't like that. So
Was it just you and your mom going to, or did you have like a crew
no,
of
I think I
kids?
had a couple friends. I can't really remember, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I did.
It's pretty brilliant, though, I will say, on your mom's part to be like, new kids, new people, they've never seen this
Yeah,
costume, just throw all the same shit on.
put the same green, disgusting shit on your face. Yeah, so that freaks me out. The other one was in middle school, and this was self-inflicted, but man, 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 man. So I don't know. Again, this is one of these I'm old and you're not stories. Did you ever watch or have you heard of Pippi Longstocking?
Yes, Lori.
Okay,
I'm,
I feel like I'm 100 years old
you're
sometimes.
not. Pippi Longstocking is very famous.
Okay, well,
Maybe
I
not
love,
to like Gen Z children. Sorry. No
fair,
offense,
for
Gen
sure.
Zs who are
So I
listening.
love Pippi Longstocking. I wanted to be Pippi Longstocking for
How dare
Halloween. I was in seventh grade, I think, sixth grade, actually, and got the mousse for the orange hair.
you.
Put this mousse in and we tied it to a
Wire.
wire hanger and the whole thing. And okay, that was cool. I had orange hair for 6 months.
Shut up. That's so
It
funny.
was temporary, but my hair was pretty light, so it
Yeah.
absorbed it all. And I kid you not, I was a fat kid with acne and orange hair that wore glasses. It's like it wasn't bad enough. I had to have orange hair.
Oh, Lori.
So
So you're
sad,
like,
right?
I am never gonna do Halloween. Traumatizing. That's
My God.
traumatizing.
Yeah. So I don't know why I think this is of interest to people because they probably don't care. But listen, don't put colored mousse in your kid's hair if they're blonde. Just putting it out there. And don't make them dress up with the same costume every year. I hate it. I never made my daughter dress up in the same costume every year.
But I think it's interesting that you went years with green face paint, and as did my mother. I think she's a witch. I'm just saying.
Okay, when did witches become green faced?
I want to say Wizard of Oz. Even though weird, yeah, I want to say Wizard of Oz. I think that was for sure. Actually, we could look that up. Let's see. We'll do. Let's see if I can find it real fast.
I think that's actually
Blended.
interesting.
Okay, it appears to have originated in the 1939 film adaptation of The Wizard of Oz.
Great.
Because she goes from black and white to color, and that's the first time you see the wicked witch, because Glinda's the good witch. So it was
Right.
more of a wicked witch understanding that she would be green.
Got it. So, see, I bet I was traumatized by being green because I'm not an evil witch. And I probably knew that as a child, and I didn't want the evil green face vibes.
1,000%. My
I mean,
mom went full in. She was like, I am full evil witch. Nose, warts, all the things.
that's pretty funny. Do you have pictures? You got to show me. Does she have
I
photos?
know. We'd have to go digging through either the digital. Okay. My dad spent years digitizing 15 1,000
Oh
photos that
gosh.
they had.
Yeah.
You have to, it's on like one of those huge drives that's like 15.
An external thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, tell Shelly for next Halloween I'm requesting her witch outfit so I can take new photos.
Yeah, absolutely. She'll have to dig it out of the trash. We can get you one. That'd be a good one. You'd be a good Glinda though, because you like have the look of Glinda.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll get a tutu. Wasn't that what she had? A little tutu and the little star thing and
Yep, yep,
yeah,
yep,
yeah.
yep.
I always wanted to wear a tutu in public.
Or you could do like a split face, like a
Ooh,
you know,
that's a good idea.
that'd be
Okay,
fun.
good for next year. We'll write these ideas down. Okay, so we've done a couple things to prepare for Halloween. We went on a ghost tour of LA, the
We
first
did.
one.
We did, yes.
Yeah. What did you think of that?
Great. Yeah. So just for background, we went to Chinatown, which
Yep.
is an area that I didn't spend a lot of time in. Mostly like Hollywood, you just never really go there. It was kind of dingy and weird, but Chinatown has a super cool history in LA, which we got to learn more about on this walk.
Did.
And a lot of murder, which was really fun. A lot of true crime fanatics will love that. It was a lot of like gang, old school 30s and 40s gangs and things like that. But a rich history, and they maintained a lot of the old buildings and they redid them so that it looks exactly as it did, 100 years ago.
Mhm.
And you feel like you're walking in a movie set. So there's an area where it's completely preserved and they have cool modern restaurant bar places that they've incorporated into. And Laura, I think next time we got to go in there and see if you get some vibes in there. But it was cool to walk around the neighborhood and hear the stories. So
Mhm.
when we were walking around, I definitely that first thing that we did, okay, it was like a giant circle
Yep.
um on the ground. And I don't remember what she said that it was like when it was built or whatever, but
I
it
don't remember
apparently,
either. Yeah.
yeah. So you apparently can take like some sort of token or something, and it looks almost like a Chinese representation of like a zodiacs on the floor. I don't think that's what it is, but it's a it's Chinese symbols, and each portion represents a different characteristic or something like that. And you can ask it a question. It's like tarot, right? Ask it a question, throw the token in the air, and it lands on something. And the question I asked, I think it was about my husband getting a job, and it was landed exactly in between like exactly on the line of the
Mm.
coin, and it in between two different descriptions, and they were both very accurate because it was such a controversial like back and forth of like what the situation is. Anyway, it was super accurate and that was a great way to start off. But they gave us spectrometers. What are they called? The little
Oh, the EMF equipment. The one that lights up when
Mhm.
it picks up certain
frequencies, electronic.
frequencies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that area had like cool little spots, but that was a cool way to start it.
I didn't really get any big spirit
Hmm.
tapping in type of stuff, but the one cool thing was one house we walked by, but we walked there and as soon as we got in front of the house, I was like, ooh, creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first time I was like, this is a little creepy.
Yeah.
And we walked up to it. It had stairs, so there's like a porch.
Yeah.
Normally the lights, because they're automatic, come on if someone walks on the stairs, which we didn't do. But as soon as we came close to the stair, it came on.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
Yep.
And that gave me the chills because like,
Yep.
oh my gosh. And then the tour guide was like, wait, that doesn't usually happen unless you step up. I'm like, yeah, well. And then I took a photo, and the photo, I swear, has a picture of a woman with her arms outstretched holding a baby, which fit the story because a woman died there. I think her husband died there and her baby died there. I'll put it on our Instagram page
Ooh,
so
yeah.
that people can look at it and we'll see what everyone thinks. It's hard to tell, but it literally looked like that the first time I looked at it. Remember? So Liz drives me home and I'm like, look at this picture. We're in the dark looking at this creepy thing. We both get the chills. And then we're both on our own in our apartments that night going, great. I hope
Yeah.
we didn't bring this spirit home with us, which, we didn't. But anyway.
Super exciting. No, it was very weird. So, and mind you, we didn't do any of these things till after she told us the story. So everything kind of made sense. But the place was fucking
It
creepy.
was
It's
creepy.
also a place that they still use today, which I thought was nuts.
Yep.
But the one next to it also was like the
Creepy.
same house design and I think part of the same property, but it was unused. And that one was fucking weird too. So that one had like a broken window at the top, like the attic
Yes.
window,
Yes.
and it felt dark and scary and horrible. I feel like the first house, where she told us the story, like you could feel that you were like, you definitely could, because you were asking her questions.
Mm.
You asked if you could go take a picture,
Yep.
and then the light came on, and as soon as you took the picture, you couldn't see anything because the light blasted out the
Yeah, that's
photo.
right. Yeah.
It was just, it was really strange. But the first house didn't have like a evil. It was just more, it was like there's shit there,
Yeah.
right? And then the EMF things were like, "Lee, lee, 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 lee."
Yep.
The second one, which we didn't even talk about, and I'm not sure why, but we just walked past that house, and Lori and I both were like, we don't like this house. Like we looked,
No, that was.
no,
Ugh.
we didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. Did we take a picture of that one too with the attic?
I think I did, but you couldn't really see anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of them just didn't come out at all. Also, was interesting is we did the rods, the dowsing rods.
Oh
Is that what they're
yeah.
called? I think it's
Yep.
dowsing rods.
Yeah.
I bought these rods too. By the way, I've been practicing with
Ooh.
them.
Okay.
But hold them and ask questions of the spirits and who's here and whatever. I volunteered, of course, to hold them. And I'm like, oh, this should work, right? And it just kept spinning and spinning in circles. I couldn't get it to really settle down.
Only one really. The other one was a little bit wonky, but there was one
Yeah,
that was like wee,
yeah. I
and
couldn't
the
get
other
it
one
to
was
calm
like
down.
la, la, la,
Yeah.
la. It was weird.
The tour guide who's intuitive said after I said there's two spirits here and one has each rod. So it's not one person controlling it. There are two people with two different situations. And
Mm,
she said, yeah, that's what I got too, is like two very separate
mhm.
entities or spirits. But we didn't get to dig into it, but that definitely piqued my interest in using those rods. I've seen them, on Instagram, and I'm like, hey, this might be, fun way to try it.
Yeah.
So I've tried it at home and I've tried it in Arizona. So we'll do some more on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it was worth doing. I think we just could keep doing different ghost tours and different things just to check out what we get.
Yeah.
Mm. I did do one in Jerome, Arizona.
Mm.
Yosemite, my good friend, longtime friend, and I went to Sedona. If you haven't been there, have you
No.
been to Sedona? Okay, we have
No.
to go. It's just beautiful, period. Like the red rock, and I mean, it's
Yeah.
beautiful. It's calming. It's definitely spiritual. We went on a ghost tour though, in this little town called Jerome outside of Sedona. And on this ghost tour, they give you your own box to pick up frequency so you can talk to the spirits. Like you go off in a corner and talk. I
Mhm.
didn't get shit. So I'm like, what kind of medium am I? Nobody wants to talk to me. I should be able to talk to these spirits. And they kept saying to me, I can just tell you, I don't have to use
Yeah.
equipment. I'm like, right, but I'm trying to show my friends this stuff is legit. I'm like, you're not helping me. So that was like a total dud until after it was all done. We started walking and it was late at night by this time, 9 o'clock or so. We started walking around the town and I thought, oh, I'm going to try the picture technique like from our ghost tour. And I
Mhm.
was just randomly taking pictures of buildings. And I swear I took a picture of an alien. The picture is posted on our Instagram. Go check out this picture. Don't mess with it. Just look at it. It's circled. It looks like an alien. I'm convinced.
Yeah, it does. It does look like an alien. When you sent it to me, because you gave me no information, you texted it to me. You're like, "What do you see in this picture?" And I was like, "What am I supposed to see?" I was like, "It kind of looks like a weird shaped head at face." But I wasn't. I was like, "But you wouldn't take a picture of an alien. Like you like you see spirits and stuff." And I was like, "I don't know. I'm not really sure. It could be like a like kid or something." And I was like, "I'm not really sure." And then you go, "It's an alien." And I was like, "Yeah." I just like didn't really. I was like, of course it's like I see the alien. I just like
Yeah.
wasn't sure that that's what I was supposed to see. You know what I mean? I was like, are they invisible? Are they in a different dimension? I was like, why would we see an alien? So
Well,
weird.
I didn't want to lead the witness. I wanted to see what
Yeah.
you got, obviously, but that makes sense. But as we're walking up to go take these photos, I'm literally like, what kind of medium am I? Nobody reaches out to me. I got nothing. And not like I wanted to be showing off, but if the spirits are there, and people were murdered in this town, there are a lot of fucking spirits
Ugh.
in this little city, town, not really city. I'm like, if I can't get anything, what the hell? So
Mhm.
I'm walking up, like, having this conversation. I start clicking, and then I get this alien, and it's like, okay, here you go. Here's your photo. And I'm like, my God, it's an alien.
So I'm here to find out if you can talk to aliens too.
I mean, we'll see. But I am totally stoked at the idea of seeing one because I
Oh,
totally believe that's what it is. But anyway,
I mean, they exist.
1000%. And Arizona's a hot spot.
Yeah, totally. But here's my question is like what we see is like the Hollywood version of an alien. Like it looks like Paul, from the movie. If anyone hasn't seen Paul, it's hilarious and you should go see it. But that's what it looks like. It's like the teardropped head with a giant
Yep.
brain area and the
Yep.
massive like weird dark black eyes and the little like nose like it's very like an alien. You think of an alien, that's what happens, right? That's what it is. And partly I'm like, okay, where did someone create that understanding? They just drew it and they were like, that's funny. It looks like a non-human but humanoid type of thing. And let's just use
Yep.
that as like the coming. Or did someone actually see an alien and go, no, no, that's what an alien looks like?
So I asked someone in Arizona that claims to communicate with aliens, and she does UFO tours and all this stuff. And she said, no, they can look like that. It's not them, it's a hologram. So it's like
They're they're
they are giving the
posed
hologram.
for us to like
Yeah,
absorb it the way we
yeah,
understand. Okay.
yeah. So they're doing it in a way that we would recognize, not necessarily how they really look,
Hmm. I mean, I'd rather them look like humans, but okay, sure.
but we would recognize them as aliens if they look like an alien
True.
based
But
on what
no,
we
look an
know.
alien. Yeah.
Yeah, based on what we know. She told me a whole lot of other crazy stuff, which we'll dive into on another episode once we get some people on that have alien experiences and
Mhm.
communications, because we have someone coming up. Little plug.
Okay.
Um, I'll talk a little bit about what she shared, but some pretty crazy, interesting, fun stuff. And I think that's about all. I think people need to make sure they have fun, be safe,
Yeah.
dress up.
But yeah, I will not be a slutty Sesame Street character. Once you start taking
Great.
your children
Yeah,
out
you got
for
to be
Halloween,
done with that.
no more slutty. But yes, have fun, be safe, check for razors. Is that still a thing? I never. That was such a
And
weird. Oh,
there
I don't.
was in the 80s, I think it was they were drugging kids with Tylenol or tainted Tylenol or some shit. They were putting pills
know.
in there and then razor blades. What is wrong with people?
I don't know. But apparently Tide Pods are back, so like check for a Tide Pod
Tide
guide.
Pods, the detergent,
Yes,
they
Lord, it's a huge thing.
they
Kids
put it
were
in the candy?
eating. They were no, but I mean, kids were eating Tide Pods to get high.
Oh my God. Okay.
So
I
I'm
mean,
just saying. You know what?
I missed that whole Tide Pod.
Of,
What?
of course, we're not just like have a good time. We're like all the shitty,
Yeah.
horrible things that people do.
Let's scare you to death. Watch out for those adult Halloween parties. Don't
Yeah.
get roofied.
PSA to all the ladies out there, all humans actually. This happens to men too.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But also, guys, keep in mind the origin story of Halloween,
Yeah.
the Celtic beliefs in, honoring the gods and the spirits that come to life and bridging the worlds. Enjoy the night, the
Fail.
thinnest veil of the year between spirit realms.
Love
Very
it.
cool. Love
All
it.
right.
See you
See you
next time.
soon.
Bye.
Bye.